Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Awkward Academy. My name is Justin. To my right, the one and only White Buffalo.
Hello.
John Hooley.
Damn it.
This is our Game Gab, a show where we gab about games. This week's topic, our favorite games of last generation. To specify, this is the 360 PlayStation 3 generation. So, start us off. Let's get right to it.
Alright. For me, my number one.
Hold on. Is this number one on your list, or like your number one is the highest rated of them all?
It's actually my highest rated of all. We can say that for last to build suspense, I suppose.
Yeah, I can do that without having to change them, I guess.
Okay.
Go for it.
Alright. So, my number 3 favorite game of last generation. Gonna catch a lot of heat from him and possibly anyone who played the game and didn't play the other games. But Splinter Cell Double Agent was amazing. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh,
okay. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. Okay. The things they messed up, I feel, with Conviction and what's the other one?
Blacklist.
Okay, the whole like mark, auto enter a room, kill everyone. They basically removed the entire challenge from Splinter Cell. The objective of the game was to, like, in previous games and Double Agent, was to avoid enemies if possible, you know, try to take them down one at a time. You know, Sam Fisher was more of a sneaky guy and less of John Wick. And I feel like Double Agent is one that really had that. It also had a lot of intrigue, had time in between missions where you could drastically change the outcome of the game, just in what you were doing there.
Is this the one we played co-op multiplayer on? Yes. Where you're like generic spies?
I think so, yeah.
With the masks?
The multiplayer
totally separate campaign, wasn't it? In multiplayer.
Yeah. I know Chaos Theory was more well thought of on multiplayer. The mercenaries versus spies. But either way, Double Agent was awesome. You had to break out of prison in it. Okay, it really did not do a lot of hand-holding or explaining for you. There was no way to see through walls.
It looked cool in Game Informer. I remember the cover art was Sam, his head shaved, wearing the orange jumpsuit, getting his mug shot taken. And they talked about how you have to keep your cover or whatever. So, like, at one point, I think you're torturing a friendly guy or something like that, and you choose to kill him or something.
Yeah, you could shoot your boss.
Yeah.
There's a part in it where you will lose reputation and gain suspicion just if you continue with the main storyline and you don't do anything. However, if in the midst of the main storyline, in between two missions, you can plant evidence from one thing or take a frequency code and frame another guy for the things that go wrong, and your enemies will kill themselves and you will actually be thought better of. Yep.
Very sneaky.
Very sneaky.
My number 3 on the list is pretty much the exact opposite. Mine is BioShock. I mentioned in the last episode that I really, really like this game. And for me, BioShock, at the time at least, was like the most visceral first-person game there was. I mean,
Too spooky.
you know, you're not just some random gun, you know, that's always poking out. Like, you see your hands and it'll change and look different depending on, you know, what ability you've got equipped. You've got really cool weapons that you can modify and upgrade, and the upgrades are visible. Like when you upgrade your pistol, it's a 6-round revolver, and you can upgrade to hold more rounds. Then you've got like this wonky cylinder coming out on the side of it. I think it's the same thing with the shotgun too. It's like this big drum mag you can eventually get, if I recall. And the plasmids themselves are really cool. The graphics were amazing for the time, especially the water effects. And then the first person, like, you know, the camera sways, and if you get hit, you know, it blurs and moves. And if you decide to fight a Big Daddy, which was always like heart pounding because they're so damn strong and so big, like just them stomping makes everything shake. And it's just really, really visceral for me, and I just thought that was so cool. That's what I like about first-person shooters, is feeling like I'm actually in there.
What I liked a lot about Bioshock is it really set forth its own atmosphere. The concept of the little sisters, the atom,
The cool, creepy 50s retro vibe.
Everything about it was just really awesome. As far as a setting, I'm all about setting.
Mm-hmm. Rapture was really, really cool setting. The storyline was really good. Awesome twist at the end. Even though the game's been out forever, I'm still not going to spoil it, just in case you haven't played it, because you really should. You can pick it up really cheap now on any platform you want to do it. Man, it's such a good game.
Too spooky.
Yeah, you didn't get very... Did you ever go beyond that later?
Yes.
Yeah, it can be a little scary at times, because you are fighting these, like, drugged out mutant freaks called splicers. But, like, you become powerful pretty fast, so you can deal with them. It's the big daddies, and that really... I don't know, I made a point to hunt down every single one, so I could save the little sisters in one playthrough, and harvest all of them in a different playthrough. And the ending, like, cutscene, for if you do save them all, is like, here's some feels for you. My god, man. What you got?
Alright, my number 2 is The Last of Us.
What the fuck is your number 1?
Alright, The Last of Us made...
Something's afoot here.
The Last of Us made number 2 on my list for so many reasons. Tear-jerking, emotional storyline. Like, there's murder, there's suicide, there's twists. It's an awesome setting. All about setting building. Like, the ending was just awesome. Like, you had a main character who didn't like bullshit about being a bad guy in his past. Justin appreciated that greatly too. Like, it was just outstanding. The graphics were pretty solid for the time. A lot of the mocap. Voice acting was incredible. Okay, Nolan North.
Fuck off, man. Fucking side. Troy Baker is way better than Nolan North will ever be. Ever. My god. Man, you're going to hell.
You're up.
Alright. My number 2 is Fallout 3. Now, I never played Fallout 1 or 2. I was never into, like, the whole, sort of, not really top-down, but it's kind of top-down, like at an angle, where you click where to go and all that shit. It's a lot like an RTS, like very tactical. Not really my thing. Fallout 3, first time I ever saw was at my friend Jimmy's house. Because his family's rich, they had all the new video games, and I walked in the room and his little brother Matthew is standing on some broken down, like, bridge off this highway, and he shoots this missile launcher at a group of bandits and just fucking annihilates them. Guts and heads and eyeballs flying everywhere, and it was all in slow-mo because of the bats, and I was like, what is that? It's like, oh, this is Fallout. What's Fallout? Sit down, check it out. I think I got a Game Informer talking about it too. I want to say it had a picture of a behemoth on it. And it was probably a Brotherhood of Steel Soldier. No power armor. Anyway, finally get my hands on it. Played on 360. Didn't have a PC that could play it at the time.
I remember I was there when you played it, like, for the first time.
Were you?
After you got it, we went into that school.
Oh yeah, the Somerville, I think. The school had all the bandits in there. They're gonna be able to hear that. All that paper shit.
But yeah, it was like, whoa, there's a lot of shit in here, and we, like, just started.
Like heads impaled on spikes and shit.
Yeah. It's like, we just started, maybe we shouldn't come back here. Because, you thought, like, we thought it was a set piece. Like, it was meant to be, like, a fucked up area. But
it's all fucked up.
it never changes.
The Capital Wasteland was such an awesome setting. Like, to see these monuments and to go to this fucking, looks like a crater, used to be a building, and when you get there, you get a pop-up, and the area's named the White House. And you're like, what? And then you got these mutants, and then you got raiders, and then you've got like all these creepy things like the centaurs. Centaurs are scary as hell.
They spit that bleh at you.
Yeah, and then you got like death claws and the Yao Guai. One's like a dinosaur and one's like a big bear thing. And then you've got like the story mission, which admittedly isn't that cool, but there's so many side quests and cool areas to find. And I mean, random occurrences in that game are some of the best I've ever seen. I mean, one, you can find a spaceship, right? And it's got an alien. You'll get a special alien gun with limited alien blaster ammo, and it one-shots almost anything. And then randomly, every time you load in or fast travel or come across these specific areas, there's a small chance there'll be an explosion in the air, and a second alien blaster that adds fire damage will appear out of the sky. And I got that bitch too. And there's custom, one-of-a-kind, unique weapons you come across, and there's weapon and armor durability you gotta worry about, and then the whole RPG with the special system and the perks, character customization. It's like everything I wanted in the game to just make my guy look how I wanted to look, give him cool equipment, you know, cool armor, cool weapons, and then just go. You know? I put like 100 hours in that game with all the DLC and everything. Which doesn't sound like much, but I've already beaten it like before that. So in reality it'd be more like 180. And the DLC was really good, especially the Point Lookout DLC. Those hillbillies are scary as fuck.
Yeah, I like the H.P. Lovecraft nods that they just filled those games full of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had it in Fallout 4, of course, with like the Dumb Witch thing.
Yeah. But, and you actually get the Necronomicon, and you can burn it in a Point DLC, or Point Lookout DLC mission. You gotta take it to a special place to burn it.
Well, there's that pillar that actually whispers the name Al-Hazard,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Herald of Cthulhu, the Mad Arabian.
And then there's other little stuff, like, I loved the way you could walk up and there'd be a little radio playing music. And it'd be like this, you know, kind of just jivey, like, 50s music, you know, just kind of playing. And then something terrible will happen, like while you're listening to this calm, relaxing music. And so you're blowing people away, and you got that music playing, and then as you walk away, you can hear, you know, the music just kind of echo and echo and echo until it sounds creepy. Like, I love that. Or that one area by the train yard, you see this teddy bear sitting inside a cage, right? You open up the cage to take it, turn around, and fucking behemoth super mutant appears, and that's his teddy bear, and he's gonna stomp your ass for stealing it. So cool, man.
Kind of reminds me of Swan.
Oh yeah, I made that guy my bitch though.
Oh yeah, I got like one shot that's not
But yeah, awesome game. Definitely didn't age well. Graphics really weren't that great even at the time because it's Bethesda.
Yeah, they're
Like,
scale.
you'll get a whole lot of shit, but none of it's gonna be real pretty. But like, I never got real deep into Oblivion because the controls were just fucking awful for me.
Love the shit out of Oblivion.
So it was really my first introduction into a Bethesda game, and now they're probably my favorite developer. Either them or Naughty Dog, they're definitely up there.
One thing with Bethesda, you can actually count on their games to be like of decent quality. They're going to release a full game, which is nice.
So speaking of quality, what's your number one?
My number one is Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and I can objectively explain, point for point, why it is so fucking good. Okay, we're gonna start at the top. Graphics, okay? Castlevania Lords of Shadow's graphics, the texture detail for a lot of the motion and what have you, the animation wasn't always great, but the visuals at each and every turn were fucking amazing. So much of it was hand-drawn, hand-put together, like skies, backgrounds, set pieces. Most of the rooms were only used once, okay, but it is an extremely long game with no repetition to it as far as like scenery. It was outstanding. Combine that with Yu Kojima's directing for the shots, okay, and you got immense, like, it's a walking cinematic. Each and every room is just an eyegasm. It's amazing. Then from the graphics, you go to the gameplay, which was also admittedly more repetitive than the graphics, because hacky slash, do that kind of stuff, but understanding the weaknesses of what you're fighting and what have you was kind of a watered down Witcher-like system. And like the combos and what have you, like you got into the groove of it, and it took skill, like a classic Castlevania game. I have tried to replay it on normal difficulty, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and I've legitimately died more than 12 times fighting a single boss. Not even like a later boss. Like, they're hard. And voice acting was on point. Had Patrick Stewart was doing the voice acting and the narration for the game. It had the Scottish or Irish guy from Stargate Destiny was doing Gabriel. The setting was great. Wasn't really much of a twist at the end, but I think it did. What was it? The Ico games. Shadow of the Colossus. I think it did Shadow of the Colossus style fighting for bosses better than Shadow of the Colossus did it.
When it came out a generation later. So.
Hijacked its style.
I've never played it. I've seen it like several times when he played it. But to me, it just looked like another hack and slash.
Well, there's just so many unique enemies and characters. Like, there's a room that's got completely unique enemies that are like hand-stitched things that have full like animation, part and parcel. It's insane. But there's a part where you get shrunk down super small and put into a music box.
Totally. My number one is The Last of Us. I think that is the best game that's came out probably the last 20 years at least. I mean, The Last of Us, he touched on it before. But like, you've got amazing characters that are superbly written, really fleshed out. The voice actors portraying them both the voice and with, actual motion capture for, animations and facial animations separately, because they did the really complicated Rockstar type shit like they did for LA Nowire and some of the latest Grand Theft Auto number 5. So it looked amazing. It sounded amazing. The characters were all fantastic. The story is probably the best video game story I've ever played.
Can't contend it.
That ending was amazing. Like, I had so many thoughts and theories on, how it was going to end, what was going to happen to who. But that was not one of them. Like, what actually did happen. I was like, no way, am I really about to do this? I'm fucking doing it. We're doing it. And then we did it. And I was like, God damn, I want some more. And we are getting a sequel, but I don't know when it's going to come out. It was so good.
Yeah, and I mean...
Talk about graphics. I mean, I played the PlayStation 4 remaster. So, everything was touched up to like 1080p and 60 frames a second instead of 30, and
yeah, I think it was almost
extra anti-aliasing and better lighting and textures and stuff like that. But I mean, even when it did come out, I mean, it's by Naughty Dog and Uncharted guys. No one does that better than them.
Yeah, it had good sound too. I like the music, like a lot of the way through it, and
the clickers, really creepy.
I didn't like the shank system.
Oh, with the shivs?
Yeah.
I never used one once for a clicker. I saved them all for jimmying open doors to get extra shit. And, like, when it comes to the gameplay, it was nothing groundbreaking, It was like a third-person melee/shooter.
And you can see through walls.
Because ammo is scarce to come by. And you can see enemies through walls with this sound shit. Which I definitely did not expect in the game either. Just because everything else seemed so gritty and, down to earth.
Yeah, I think the problem is that just nowadays you can't make a game where people don't see through walls and expect it to succeed.
But what was cool though was, it still had a skill tree. It's kinda like there was upgrades you could do both to your equipment and to Joel himself. So in the beginning, your aiming would be kind of shaky and your reticle will be like big. and then as you upgrade it, it gets smaller and tighter, and his hands shake less as he becomes more steady. And I thought that was really cool. And then, the more extras you find, the more you can upgrade your weapons and whatnot. And then the melee system was really cool, because when you get into fist fights, the camera suddenly zooms in over your shoulder to see everything like a movie, and it had like a weight to it, like a heft. Like every time you killed somebody, or that like a person, clickers, they're monsters at this point. But like if you come up on a guy and you're choking him out, the camera always swings around to show his face. As it turns all red and his eyes bulge and become bloodshot, he's like scratching at you, and it's really deep.
Yeah, the AI was really good too for the enemies. Like, you dry fire and you don't have a round in the chamber.
Yeah, they'll hear it and they'll come fucking swarm you.
I know that sound.
But yeah. Also, Ellie was gay the entire time. Never mention it once because, like, you don't have to. Your characters that are gay don't have to be, like, explicitly gay. Which I thought was really cool. Very well done.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things that I mentioned about it that he didn't is the fact that Last of Us, much like Castlevania, had an extreme lack of repetition in it. Yeah, you didn't see the same room over and over again. Heck, every single time you tried to like do the same puzzle to get the ladder up so Ellie could go up it or something like that, it was unique each and every time with unique animations and unique dialogue lines to it.
Yeah, story. Like, it had such a good story that every arc, you were there for a reason. You weren't like, alright, why are we in this place now? Like, it always followed a progression. So that's our top 3 list of best games of last generation. Let us know in the comments what yours are. You can get at us on Twitter at Captain_Virgin and at Reverend Schmitty. And have an awkward day.